with the MiniFreak, and we're still going through oscillator functions, which just, again, I probably said this 80 times, but it shows you the extensive functionality you have present on a synthesizer like this. You have so many different types of synthesizers to choose from, all in this compact and easy to use box. I'm not, as an analog guy, I'm not accustomed to having this giant of a palette of sounds to choose from. And then you've got 2 layers of oscillators. Yeah. Anyway, that's why this is probably going to be the longest series I've ever done, is because to explore all of these different functionalities, I have to go through all of them. And usually with an oscillator on a synth, it's like, here's the sawtooth wave, here's the square wave. Okay, on to the filter, but not here. So, unlike on, the MicroFreak was a different synth. I'm looking at it right now, which is why I'm referring to it. It's staring at me. On the MiniFreak, there is a function called Chords, an oscillator called Chords, and Chords is to be found on the second set of oscillators. So, you're here. Let's do this. Okay. You're here on your first layer of oscillators. So you have to go to the second to find chords. And here it is. Look, you can see a chord being played. And so if we go up to the wave, it seems like the preset starts off at a major chord. But I don't hear a chord at all. Oh, I know why. Okay, so let's turn down the volume of your first layer oscillator and go turn up the volume of your second layer oscillator so that you can actually hear the thing that I'm demonstrating. Anyway, you don't have this kind of a problem on an analog oscillator. Anyway, so unless it has a mixer. Now, granted, that's fair. I'm not complaining. Here's a chord. It's a major chord. Sounds like we're getting some. It sounds like there are more than 3 notes playing, because I think I can hear another octave. But anyway, so if that's really awesome. There's a major chord, but you may want different types of chords instead of just a major one, because let's say you're playing in C and you want to go to A minor. What's going to happen? Oh, that's A major. We don't want A major. We want A minor, the relative minor. Anyway, so of course they have given us plentiful options in regard to what chord quality. We just go to the wave knob and it will allow us to choose a variety of chords. Major 7th, major 9th, 6/9, minor 11th, minor 9th, minor 7th, minor. So here's our minor chord that we were looking for earlier. There, now you have an A minor. Suspended. A 5, which is the tonic in the 5th. And I'm going to stop right here and do something that is totally out of my typical pattern, but this would be really awesome if you are a person who wants to have like a guitar sound. So we could go right over to the effects and choose distortion. So you basically get the tonic in the 5th, which is a thing that you get in, your typical distorted guitar sound. So you have ability to have that just like built right in, and that's convenient. That is a convenient thing. Okay. So let's go back to, where did we have? We got down to 5th, and then the last one is octaves. And that's something I didn't do. What happens if you play a chord in the midst of all of this? Let's go to major. Oh, you actually can make some very, very intense compound chords. That is great for synthesis. It may not be great for playing chords, but if you want to have a whole bunch of mismatched harmonics all at once, you can make some powerful, even drum sounds by smashing harmonics together, like the sort of amount of harmonics you get, because you're getting basically 3 notes per or more per note you're holding, and so you're getting a wide variety. Each of those notes, as we'll see, has a whole lot of harmonic content, so you can really make some big bashy sounds. Listen to what 6 sounds like. That's useful from a synthesis standpoint. Okay, so those are our intervals, and keep in mind that you can certainly change those manually, but if you want to automate the changing of those, you can certainly use your patch panel. You can get, your LFO going and have the square wave LFO changing from major to minor in time with your sequencer, where you have programmed what chords you actually want to play, because obviously you don't have to stay on one note like I was. You can sequence different notes, and then you can use a synced LFO to be changing the chord quality of the sequence content, which is really pretty cool. And there's a variety of things. You could be using the pitch bend to do that, or a number of other things. The sustain level of the envelope, you could program that. You could. So it's really useful. You don't have to just stick with one chord type or trying to stumble through selecting the right one at the right point. You can, of course, make use of your patch panel in order to modulate or voltage control, kind of, the chord quality. So if we go to the timbre knob controls inversions. So like on a normal chord, if you wanted to play a C chord, it'd be C, E, and G. And that makes a root C chord. But say you wanted an E, G, and C, which sounds different than when you play C, E, G. The timbre knob controls the inversion of the chord and will invert your chord right up the keyboard, as we were just hearing. Using creative programming, you could actually not only program what chord quality you have going along with your sequencer, so you have a C and then you have an A minor, you can then sequence what inversion, modulate what inversion you want for those chord qualities that you've chosen over time. So that makes for you being able to basically compose the chords you need and the inversions you need and the chord qualities you want into your sequence. So that is a really unique and functional outcome if you're not a person who wants to play those chords with your hand. Okay, and as if that isn't a wellspring of functionality, we also can go and employ the shape, which allows us to choose what waveform the chord is. So I think it starts out with a saw. There's something interesting going on with that, that's for sure. So purportedly, the shape is controlling the waveform of the chord. And above 50, it gets into some wavetable chord timbres. And it's weird because it sounds like there's different inversions happening too. So you basically could have not only different chords happening in your sequence, different notes happening, as roots of your chords in your sequence, but then on top of that, different inversions happening in your sequence, and then each chord could have its own waveform as well. So you have a astounding variety of possibility in the chords function that is found in the second set of oscillators on the Arturia MiniFreak.